Hi, my name is Remy Murhi, and this presentation is all about carbohydrates and sports performance. So this semester in chemistry, we went over a few different things nutrition-based. We went over carbohydrates, lipids, and amino acids. But when I was deciding which topic to dive deeper into, I decided to pick carbohydrates and more specifically how they affect sports performance like weightlifting, just because this is what I've kind of been diving deep into for the past few years. So for 3 years, I was a health and fitness coach, and I took a break after I had 2 kids. And now I'm studying to become a dietitian. Now, as you may remember, there's a few different categories when it comes to carbohydrates. So there's monosaccharides, which is just the simplest form of carbohydrates, so it has 1 unit of glucose. Then we have disaccharides, which consist of 2 sugar molecules, and these are both simple sugars. So monosaccharides and disaccharides are considered simple sugars. Then finally we have polysaccharides, which is just a bunch of sugar molecules linked together. Some examples of some simple carbohydrates are honey, fruit, and rice cakes. And some examples of polysaccharides or complex carbs are sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice, and whole grain pasta. So when it comes to sports performance, when we're trying to figure out what are the best types of carbohydrates for sports performance, it's actually pretty simple. You see what I did there? Because we need simple carbohydrates. Okay. Anyways, simple carbohydrates are the best for so many reasons. The first reason that simple carbohydrates are the best is because of how fast they get digested and absorbed into the bloodstream. So because of this, your body has access to them almost immediately. So if you eat carbohydrates, your body will have access to them within 30 minutes. This helps you power through your workout. Ideal amount of how many carbs you should have is between 15 to 30 grams of simple carbs before your workout, and that should power you throughout your entire workout. So that energy will last between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and that's typically how long a weight training workout lasts anyways, so that works out. So the whole point of having simple carbohydrates before your workout is just based on the fact that they get digested and broken down super fast. But you have to be careful with that, because if you pair it with a few different things, then that can slow down the digestion. So let's go over those things. So when it comes to just living a healthy lifestyle, they kind of teach you to pair your carbs with a source of protein, a source of fiber or cellulose, and a source of fat or lipids to help keep you full for longer, to help make sure that you're having a more balanced meal and your blood sugar doesn't spike, and overall just to keep your body happy that it's getting all of the essential macronutrients. But in regards to sports performance, it's actually the complete opposite of what we're trying to go for. So we're trying to make sure that your carbs still get delivered to your body as fast as possible. So we want to avoid pairing it with too much lipids or fat and too much cellulose or fiber. Some examples of cellulose, this is mostly found in fruit and vegetables. Unless you juice them, then it takes the cellulose or fiber out of it, but really just any vegetable or fruit. And then some examples of lipids would be like peanut butter, hazelnut butter, stuff like that. This seems super counterintuitive, but just keep in mind that you are needing this energy right then and there. And because you're literally about to use all of the carbs that you are taking in, there's not really a big chance that it's going to be stored as fat, and you don't really have to worry about blood sugar spikes, because working out will kind of prevent that. But we won't get into blood sugar, that's biology. All you need to know is that when it comes to lipids, you should limit it to 10 to 15 grams, and when it comes to cellulose, you should limit it to 5 to 8 grams. Now you must be thinking okay, so I won't pair it with lipids, I won't pair it with fiber, no big deal, but I can of course pair it with protein, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do before you work out. You're supposed to eat protein and carbs, and that is correct. But here's the interesting part. Well, interesting for me, just pretend you're also interested. You should be only focusing on fast absorbing protein.
Okay, I keep saying fast absorbing proteins. I meant fast digesting proteins. Just ignore me, and yeah, I'm so sorry.
So before your workout, as opposed to slow digesting proteins. And this sounds super confusing, but it's really simple. So fast absorbing proteins is like whey protein, pea protein, stuff like that. And then slow absorbing protein is like steak, chicken, eggs. There's 2 reasons that you want fast digesting proteins. The first one is that because if you pair it with slow digesting proteins, then it will slow down the absorption of the carbs, so you won't have your fuel as readily available. But then the second thing, and we won't go too much into this, but the second thing is that fast digesting proteins is way better in regards to working out, because they deliver amino acids to the muscle quickly, which help with muscle repair and muscle growth. again, we're just gonna touch on muscle synthesis, but the reason that it's so good to have carbohydrates and proteins paired up before your workout, especially before weightlifting, is because your muscle fibers undergo microscopic tears, and then to repair those muscle fibers, your body sends glycogen. You remember glycogen, right? From carbs and amino acids from proteins to help build your muscle back bigger and stronger. So that's essentially how you build your muscle. Now, speaking of glycogen, it's great to have carbohydrates 30 to 45 minutes before your workout just to help power you through your workout, but it's also great because it can replenish your glycogen storages. So if you don't remember everything about glycogen, it's basically the stored version of glucose, and it's found in your muscle and it's found in your liver. When you need energy, it's broken down into glucose and it's readily available. So if you go into a workout without eating, it's actually the first thing that gets tapped into when you need energy. So here's the sequence if you do an unfueled workout. So if you do not eat before your workout, it will first tap into the glycogen storages in your muscle, then it will tap into the glycogen storages in your liver. Then it will tap into the blood glucose, so the glucose found in your blood. Also, a little side note about this part of the process is that when glycogen gets broken down, it actually also creates lactic acid, and lactic acid is actually really cool because it is a combination of a carboxylic acid and a hydroxyl group, and together it creates lactic acid. The main purpose of lactic acid is to break down the glucose from glycogen and give your body energy without needing oxygen. This primarily happens during like an intense session of either weight training or sprinting or something that's like high intensity. So this whole process of breaking down the glycogen in your muscles, that's usually around the first 15 minutes of a workout. Then the glycogen in your liver and your blood glucose, that's usually about the 15 to 30 minute mark in your workout. So after that, that's when your body taps into your fat storage, which sounds great. You're like, oh great, my body is burning off all this fat. However, fat, like we mentioned, takes so long to break down, so you're not actually gonna have a good workout. You're not actually gonna get a lot of the energy that you need at like a quick rate. So this happens around the 30 to 45 minute mark of an unfueled workout. By the 45 minute mark, if your body still doesn't have any food, it will also then break down the muscle tissue for energy because it also needs amino acids for your workout, like we kind of mentioned earlier. So your body is literally eating away at its muscle if you do not properly fuel it. So now comparing having an unfueled workout to a fueled workout, the fueled workout is honestly so much better because number one, you have the fuel to actually perform at your best. Even if you're just going for fat loss and you don't actually care about performance, it's actually better to still have a fueled workout because you're going to be burning way more calories if you can perform better, and you're going to be building more muscle if you're actually fueled, and that muscle can help you burn fat at rest. So you actually burn more calories during the workout if you are fueled, which just makes more sense. And to top it all off, maybe the most important thing is that if you eat before and after your workout, your glycogen storages also get filled back up, which is really important because this is what helps your muscles recover better and helps prepare you for your next session. And that recovery period also helps build the muscles. So if you're wanting to lose weight, then that's a really good way to do so by just helping your muscles get bigger. Now, after spending 10 plus minutes talking about why simple carbohydrates are so amazing for sports performance, allow me to now contradict all of that and tell you why polysaccharides are also so great for sports performance. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna contradict anything, but polysaccharides also have a place in regards to sports performance. So while we should never have polysaccharides or just complex carbs too close to our workout, they are great if you're not working out like first thing in the morning. So if you're having like an afternoon workout or a night workout, it's great because you should have polysaccharides 2 to 3 hours before your workout, because then that will deliver a slow, steady stream during your workout. So if you also have a pre-workout snack and you have polysaccharides like 2 to 3 hours before your workout, you get both of the energy sources. You get a slow, steady stream of energy from your polysaccharides, and you get the readily available stream of energy from your pre-workout snack from simple carbohydrates. So you get the best of both worlds. They will also top off your glycogen storages, and they will make sure that you do not crash mid-workout because they'll even further prevent a blood sugar spike. And since they are not being used for readily available energy, the pairing rules are back off the table, so you can pair it with lipids, you can pair it with cellulose, you can pair it with low digesting proteins, you can pair it with whatever, because you are not like using it for the primary source of fuel for the workouts. It's just more complementary. So to summarize, carbohydrates and even amino acids are really amazing to help you fuel your workout, build muscle, and to replenish glycogen storages. And it's a horrible idea to work out unfueled. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I didn't bore you to death. You babies want to say hi?
Hi. I hope my mama gets the eye.
Oh, thank you, Coco Bear. Say hi, my name is Kaya.
My name is Kaya.
Good job, my little munchkin. Say hi, my name is Koa.
My name
No, not you. Your name is not Koa.
Kaya.
No, your name is not Kaya. Say hi, my name is Coco.
Hi, my name is Kaya.
What the heck? Say my name is Coco Bear.
My name is Kaya.
Okay, we're done.